So I'm gonna go through daily bias today for ES and NQ, and this is a very, very interesting spot we're in between the two indexes. So I'm gonna go over them obviously. So on the hourly time frame within ES, we've already ran through the new week opening gap, which was this gap right here that we left obviously on Sunday, Monday-ish. So Sunday night this opened. Uh, Sunday night this opened during Asia session. Very, very interesting predicament that we're in. It's overall like really, really confusing, to say the least. I don't really know. Usually I like to trade through this, right? Obviously, this is gonna end up getting filled in, but it already got filled in. But on Nasdaq has yet to fill this in. It's filled it in like maybe a third of the way. So my bias on Nasdaq would be bullish to fill the rest of this in. However, on ES, it's already filled it completely in, and we're already starting to get somewhat of a sell off here. So I don't know what to. This is a very interesting spot because I've never had this before. The past few times, actually these were left below. Like price was like would be up here, and then the new week opening gap would be up to the left, and then we would have a nice liquidity sweep, and then have a huge sell off. But the issue with it today is one index has ran through it, the other index has yet to run through it, and one then obviously as you could see, ES is already having a pretty major sell off. I did mark out London session highs. London session already took out Asia session within ES, and that is the same call here on Nasdaq, barely, but it did sweep the highs out. So, yeah, this is very, very interesting because I've never seen this before. Obviously, I haven't been trading for a whole lot long, so that's partially why. We do have London session lows that Nasdaq is approaching. ES is also getting kind of close to these lows. I didn't mark them out yet, but ES is getting decently close to these lows as well. I'm gonna get rid of this new week opening gap because it's kind of confusing me, but yeah, we'll see how this ends up playing out. We do have a pretty nice bear or bullish order block right here. These two, between these two candles, I'd probably just mark out this bottom one here, but I just don't know what the bias would be if one index has already filled that new week opening gap and the other one hasn't, because typically once that new week opening gap gets filled, it gets reversed. Like how would ES become bearish while Nasdaq becomes extremely bullish? I don't know. That really can't happen. I'll find the last example of this. This was not a good example of it because this was Fed funds rates. But yeah, like I said here, how we fill this in, we become fairly bullish. Not like right, yeah. I mean, it was pretty much right after we see this get completely filled in, and then we continue to rally up, and then the following sessions were all fairly bullish. So it's really confusing, more or less, right now. So I mean, if you're ever in doubt of market conditions or like this in particular, just stay out of it. It's not that it's like, yeah, you can learn the hard way, but it's best to probably sit out, watch it play out. Maybe you get shitty price action. Maybe, a lot of things start looking different. I don't know, but this is very interesting. So I don't even really have a bias for today. I would like to see it bullish on Nasdaq, especially because we are approaching these London session lows very quickly. ES is also fairly close to these lows. So we'll see how these both end up playing out. We did have news today, actually. Forgot to go over that. Today, we had employment costs and then PCE price index. So not like the craziest stuff. Obviously, you see that 830. You can see that 830 candle not really doing anything. Good thing it didn't sweep out London session highs, though, because that would have made very confusing for everybody. But it really more or less created equal highs. So we'll see how this plays out. I would like to see a sweep of these lows possibly and then a rally up. But again, it did just fill this new week opening gap, so it's really confusing. So we'll keep an eye on it. I'm probably not going to take any trades today just because that's how it looks. So that'll be it for daily buys today. Again, I'm sorry. I don't really have a bias for today. This is overall very confusing for me.